You freed me? I was the one who tied you up, but I hate to see people confined. That's all there is to this. You hate to see people confined? You kidnapped us and put us in Black Steeple to work in the mines. You had a bot farm in Minecraft with using us as the bots. Don't give me that bullshit. Thank you. As some states in America, they're gonna force the kids. Melanie was headed in this direction, so there's no doubt. We can leave this hell right away. Wait, I need you to explain something to me. You said that I had awakened before it, and then you called Amalgam the Interceptor. That light that engulfed me, it did something to Melanie. I could feel it. You claim to have the power to create shiny Pokemon. Oh, she creates shiny Pokemon. I wouldn't even say it's that questionable. I wouldn't say it's that questionable, because when Madam X is saying stuff, it seems like she's doing a lot of stuff for what she believes to be the greater good, and she's pulling effectively what is the Code Geass, is what I feel like, is that she's going to be the villain that saves the world, and she'll be the villain to do that. I feel like that's where her story's going, and we're going to find out Madam X is somebody we know, and Madam X probably comes from the future. And I wouldn't doubt if Madam X is Melia from the future on like a broken timeline, and she's come back to and it's just like so broken that this is how she is. I would not be surprised if that was the case. And so I think it's less of bad writing and more of just, we don't have the answers yet. Because I had a friend I was talking to when I was showing her my novels. She read half my first one because I didn't have the other half written yet. She read half my first one and was like, "Hey, I have questions." I was like, "Okay, what do you have questions about?" And she asked me, and she's like, I wrote notes, and she took the notes down, and she goes, "I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't understand like why this character is acting this way." And I'm like, these are all questions that get answered. Every question you have is something that gets answered, and they're meant to be questions. You're meant to like not understand what this is yet, because it's just a name drop for later that you keep in mind. And it's like, oh, I see. So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna. And then she read the rest, and she goes, "Oh, this makes sense. Like now I get why." It's literally that scene from Big Bang Theory where it's Sheldon reading something, and he's like, "Why? Why? Why?" Oh, that's why. And like, it's literally that. I think that's why. I think that's what's happening here, and which I like that in writing. I love that, not a trope, but that writing style. That's what I enjoy. That's why I enjoy this. I love not having my questions answered till later. Now, if you don't answer the fucking question, then it's a problem. Like One Piece, I'm kind of getting to the point where they need to stop. I love One Piece, don't get me wrong. But I am very tired of him now actually still adding mystery. We're done. All the mysteries are in there. Stop adding more. You're at the point now, because we know you're at your end game. Start answering stuff. You need to start answering these questions instead of adding more questions. Now, if you answer a question and it brings up another question that's different, but you got to stop adding extra bits. You have to now, you can introduce more characters, that's fine. You can introduce a new character that we have questions about, and like that's okay, like because that's part of the arc, and you need to have mystery in the arc. I think we're coming. I don't think we're getting to because Laugh Tale's the end. I really think I think 2030 is probably when it's gonna end. I think we got a good another 6 years left in it. That's what I'm feeling like. But he is gonna have to go on hiatus for surgery. But I feel like we got another 6 years left, or 5 years. Sorry, 5 years. I think we have another 5 years left. But you need like, when you're at that point in the story, stop giving questions and start answering stuff. Because like I have a thing in the second book that because in my series of 4, it's not a question that's posed in the second book, but you're given a moment where you're like, okay, why is this character the only one that we don't get a description for? And then you find out later why. Like, it's not that I don't give you a description, you just don't understand what he looks like, given some things, or he or she or whatever, like it. You won't see, like, I'm not giving you all the info, and you have a question like, okay, well, why did you not do that? Why is this always here? And then 2 books later, in the last book, it is answered why. And I fell in love with that trope, and there's hints as you go forward. There's a few hints to kind of like, oh, it's probably this. Because when you do a twist in a story, you need to have, when you do a twist in a story, what you need to do, not a twist so much, but, oh, wrong button, hold on. I'm gonna do this right here. When you're writing stories and you want to put like a twist or you want to add more to it, what you kind of need to do. Jeez, I hate that it does this. I hate my eyes that like jump to this side when it shouldn't. So kind of how I see this working is you don't want to just give everybody the answers. Now, granted, we're at the point where Netflix is starting to do that, and it's really annoying. But when you are actually trying to, leave little hints and tidbits here and there, you want your audience to connect the dots, because that's the point of putting hints. If you don't, and you just do an M. Night Shyamalan, woo, it's a twist, that to me is not fun. Because I want to be able to predict something. I want to be able to go, hey, you've left these breadcrumbs on this trail. I followed them, and I was paid off at the end by going, I was right. I want to look at the book, I want to point at the book and go, I was right. That's what I like, and that's how I feel like it should be, instead of just random twist here and there, just for the sake of it. That's not fun. At least to me, it's not. So that's kind of where I follow into it. So like, if you predict something in my books, I'm not mad at you. Right, you need to be. I'm not mad at you if you predict the twist. Like, I had a character, not a character. I'm sorry. I had a person who was reading my first novel, and by the end of it, she goes, wait a minute, are these two? And I went, yes. And she goes, oh, I was like, yeah. She goes, that means, I was like, yes. And she was just going, oh my god. I was like, that's the point. Like, that's what I want you to. She goes, I'm sorry I predicted it. I was like, don't be sorry. That was the point. You're supposed to start having like inclinations by the end of the first book of certain things happening. Of like, okay, I don't know the full story. Certain things are here, but that means you understand how story structure works, and that's fine. There are going to be people who don't catch on to that, and that's fine too. But I want to reward you. I think authors and mangaka and storytellers need to reward you for that. They need to be like, you predicted correctly. I'm not going to change my story because you predicted. Because apparently, what Oda said is that somebody online, I think he read it, somebody predicted the end. Somebody did actually predict the end correctly for One Piece, but he won't say what it is. So now we know it's out there. Somebody was right. We don't know who was right, though. And that's wonderful. That's fun, because Oda gave enough breadcrumbs for at least one person to get it. Now, I may be right. I don't know. It may be me. Who knows? Because my prediction is that the One Piece is actually a giant statue of fucking Luffy. Maybe, I don't know what it is. My prediction is that actually Buggy's going to be the Pirate King. My full prediction of One Piece is that Buggy will be the Pirate King. Luffy's the real Pirate King, but Buggy's whole story is failing upwards. Buggy's whole shtick is that he fails upwards on accident and doesn't want the position. So I think that's where it's going to go for him, is Luffy's going to actually win, but once he gets everything he wants, he goes, alright, I'm done. And then it's like, Buggy, you can have it, I don't care. And Buggy's going to be the Pirate King. I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's the case, because why would... Your prediction is that the One Piece is the tree. I don't think that's true. Because why would that cause the... why would that cause the Gold Roger's crew to laugh? Like, what is comedic about that? It has to be something comedic. Because it's definitely not just a poneglyph. But, like, I don't know what the One Piece is. I'm not making predictions on that. I'm just saying, like, I like when authors give you hints and they don't tell you. But, like, if you catch enough, you'll catch it. Because, like, I read a book a long time ago, a book series. It was, I won't say what it was. It's definitely an actual treasure. Like, Oda's admitted it, that it actually is, like, a treasure. It is something. It is not the power of friendship. It is an actual thing. Which I'm glad he did that. But, like, I read a book a long time ago, and one of the characters in the book was just known as the Hook-Handed Man. We never got a description of the character. All we knew is that one of his hands was a hook. It was like kind of like a long scythe hook kind of thing. And he wears a green robe, or a robe. I don't remember the color of the robe. He wears a robe that covers his face. So you don't. That's the only description you get of him. as you go through this story, he kind of pops up here and there as kind of this like enigma that's not definitely not a villain, but you don't know if he's actually on your side or not, but he's definitely in the background doing stuff. You get to the end of the series, I think it's a 5 or 6 book series. You get to the end, and it reveals who it actually is. And before that point, I was questioning, is this character actually this other character? And I was right. I was 100% right, because he dropped a single line in a single setting that made me go, wait a minute, are these two characters somehow related? And it wasn't that these two characters were related, they were the same character from different points in time. Because the time travel, it had time travel. So that to me, I was like, good, that's good storytelling. Now granted, it was for like middle grade, so it definitely was very obvious. For an adult, it was like, oh, obviously. But as a middle grade reading this, I was like, shit, like this is awesome. Like that's cool. I want that. That's what makes good writing to me, is putting the breadcrumbs and not changing your story because people predicted it. And that's the thing with A Song of Fire and Ice with Game of Thrones. I think the ending for the TV show was actually the ending George R. R. Martin wanted to do. And when he saw the ending of the show, realized how much people hated it, and now has to go back and fix it. Because he realizes it's not a good ending. I think that's why we're never getting the ending, because that was supposed to be it. And people didn't like it. Alright, back to the game though. In fact, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm just do like a little 30-second ad break. Yeah, that's a fast 30 seconds. Jeez. The Fedalom says that the devil fruit tree would be a cool idea, but not for the actual One Piece. Right. Well, I think there is a tree. Like, I think the devil fruits actually do come from a tree, and I think the tree's a Mary Joy. Devil fruit tree. Let's look it up. Hold on. Devil fruit origins and where they may have grown. That's Game Rant. I want the actual wiki. I'm pretty sure they have something on there. The origin of devil fruits. No, I guess we don't know what it comes from. I'm pretty sure they come from... I like to believe they come from a tree in Mary Joy, however you say it. That's where I think it's going to come from. But for George, on another topic, because we're jumping back and forth, you think that he just writes slow and probably won't be alive to finish the ending? That could also be it. That might also be the problem, too. I'm not going to say it's one or the other. I have my theories. One of the things that I've also heard is that, I think he said it, he might have said that, was that he actually killed a character that throws off his plot. Like, if he killed a certain character earlier. He killed a certain character, and it messed up the plot going forward, and now he's trying to figure out how to rectify that. Kind of like the Time Turner in Harry Potter, how it kind of messes up the world. But, you know, there's a number of reasons. I'm not going to bash the guy. Look, I know how hard it is to write. I get it. Anyway, the One Piece, the first Yo Mama joke, that'd be funny, actually. Alright, let's move myself back over. Hold on.